everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to discuss the essay Sir Roger at Home by Joseph Addison. In my previous video, Sir Robert at Church, I have discussed in detail about the periodical essays, their aims, as well as the various periodical essays published in the 18th century. So I'll give the link of that video in the description below. So without further ado, let us begin with this particular essay. This particular essay, Sir Roger at Home, was published in the Spectator. As we have discussed before, Addison was focused on the manners and morals of the people of the society. So in this essay, we see that the narrator of the essay gets frequent invitation from Sir Roger de Coverley to pass a month with him in the country house. The narrator says that he accompanied Sir Roger there, that there means to his country house, last week and stayed there for some time. The narrator wanted to speculate there and to write. And in the country house, he felt that he would get enough privacy as well as enough quiet and peace of mind so that he can focus on his thought and he can write. Sir Roger said already that Sir Roger is very well acquainted with the way the narrator thinks and does everything, and that is why he said that Sir Roger does not interfere with the narrator's wish and with the narrator's way of living. He can sleep whenever he wants, he can eat whenever he wants. Usually in past, in the household of the upper class people, there are particular times to do things. So the breakfast was at one time, the lunch was at one time, and the dinner. And all these eating together used to be lengthy activities because on the table it was expected that people will socialize. So here Sir Roger de Coverley told the narrator that the narrator does not have to attend the formal breakfast, lunch or dinner. He can eat whenever he wants, he can sleep whenever he wants. He even does not have to come to the table to have his food. He can have his food even at his chamber. So Sir Roger told the narrator that the narrator can live at this place at his own will and focus on his own work. The narrator says that if Sir Roger finds the narrator sitting quietly, he does not ask questions or he does not tell him that he should be happy. So the narrator is left on his own device and nobody disturbs him there. And all this happens due to Sir Roger's keen observation. So from this we can see that Sir Roger is actually a very kind-hearted and good-hearted person, and he is also a very good friend. So we see that it is mentioned that many people come to visit the narrator when the narrator stays there at the country house of Sir Roger. But Sir Roger does not let those people who come to visit the narrator disturb the narrator. And also whenever the narrator walks out in the field, some people stare at him or look at him. It could be out of curiosity. But Sir Roger told them that the narrator does not like to be stared at. Nobody likes to be stared at, right? He mentioned that the country people, they can look at the narrator, but the narrator should not be able to see them looking at him because it is uncomfortable and the narrator might feel self-conscious, and that is why Sir Roger instructed people accordingly. So the narrator says that he feels very comfortable in Sir Roger's family because all the family members are kind, sober and calm. And it is also because Sir Roger is a very good master. So why he says that Sir Roger is a very good master? Because Sir Roger does not change her servants. Her servants are there for a very long time. Just because the servants are there for a long time, they have job security, and in return all these servants are very loyal to Sir Roger. He mentioned that all his servants are there for years and they are getting old with Sir Roger. And he also mentioned that his valet is just like his brother, and also his butler is a very old fellow. Here I would like to mention that a valet is a personal assistant kind of a person who would help out with the dressing and all other personal need of a man. And the butler is the head and the manager of the servants in the household. In previous time, big households, upper class households had multiple servants of different category. There were cleaning people in the kitchen, and also people in the stable. So all these servants used to be managed by this one butler. The butler would assign them work, and if there are events, the butler would tell the servants what to do. He is more like a manager in this household. And there we see another word, groom. So groom is the person who looks after the horses. The narrator says that even the dog also of this household reflects the goodness of his master. We often come across with the idea that the dogs often reflect the attitude and personalities of the people they live with. So here also we see that the dog reflects the goodness of the master. And this dog is also very old, and hence this dog is now useless. But everybody takes care of this dog because they do it out of the gratitude of all the years the dog has served in this household. So all this reflect their caring nature as well as the kind nature of Sir Roger himself. It is also mentioned that all the household servants display genuine pleasure whenever Sir Roger comes to visit the country house. And some of them shed the tears of joy whenever they see Sir Roger. Sir Roger is here like a father figure, and all these people really love him a lot. So here we see everyone shows eagerness to do something for Sir Roger, and they feel utterly disappointed if Sir Roger does not assign any task to anyone. So the narrator notices that Sir Roger's humanity keeps everyone connected to him. And whenever Sir Roger becomes happy with one person, the entire household is happy. Sir Roger, we see here, is now an old person, and if he shows any signs of old age, all the servants in the household become very concerned. What could be the concern for? Could it be out of love for Sir Roger, or are they afraid of losing their job if something happens to Sir Roger? So here we see that the narrator mentions that Sir Roger appointed his butler to attend to the narrator. To attend to means to assist with whatever the narrator needs during his stay in the country house of Sir Roger. And this butler tries his very best to keep the narrator happy because his master talks about the narrator a lot. So the butler understands that the narrator is an important person in Sir Roger's life, and hence he would want to take care of this particular person he is assigned to assist with. So the narrator mentions that whenever Sir Roger gets busy with different things, a very respected person, his chaplain, always keeps him company. And this chaplain fellow has been living in the household of Sir Roger for 30 years. And he is a person of good sense and has some learning as well. And he can also offer some engaging conversation. And this chaplain man, is more like a family than a dependent of Sir Roger. So this reflects the general goodness of Sir Roger as a man. The narrator notices one funny thing, and he observes that Sir Roger's virtues and imperfections are a little too much. So this makes this particular character of Sir Roger very unique. So the narrator says that this particular personality of Sir Roger, like all his imperfections and virtues together, this particular personality of Sir Roger makes all the conversation very delightful. And all these things make Sir Roger a very agreeable person, and all the conversations, like the regular day-to-day ordinary conversations, are also very delightful. Sir Roger asks the narrator about the chaplain without even waiting for the answer. Sir Roger says that he appointed the chaplain with a thought in mind. He did not want a very knowledgeable person as the chaplain because he was afraid of getting insulted in Greek and Latin. Hence, he chose this particular man as his chaplain, who is less knowledgeable than him but is friendly and can play the game backgammon. So this shows that Sir Roger has a little bit of insecurities also, and his way of addressing this insecurity is quite funny and humorous. So he also mentions that his friend found the clergy for him and who has all the necessary qualities but who does not show off. Sir Roger, knowing the worth of this person, appointed him immediately as a person in this parish, and parish is the area under the jurisdiction of the church. So Sir Roger here passes a funny comment. He says that if the person lives longer than Sir Roger, then he would know that Sir Roger had more respect than the person. So we see a hint of secret competitiveness. So this person is with him for 30 years and never asks him anything for himself, even though he asked for many things for the tenants. So this person has also a kind nature, and he is also caring and giving, and he tries his best to help out with the tenants. So Sir Roger mentions that all the tenants love this chaplain very much, and they go to him with all the problems they have, and in case this chaplain cannot solve the problems, they come to Sir Roger. And he also mentions that all the people came to him once or twice only. So this particular person, this chaplain, is a very capable fellow. Sir Roger mentioned that when this chaplain joined, Sir Roger gave him all the important good sermons. And this man arranged all these sermons in a way that they follow one after another. So this shows that this chaplain fellow is also knowledgeable. So it is mentioned that the chaplain usually comes there on Saturday evening, and whenever he is asked who will preach the next day, he presents all the preachers for the whole year. So this shows the organization skill and the social skill of this chaplain. The narrator hears this chaplain giving his speech and is convinced of his qualification. The narrator concludes this essay with an observation that all the people, all the clergy should follow this particular method. And what is this method? This method is not to write their own speech, but to follow the great master's speech eloquently, because they were already ready-made materials. And in that way, it will be easier for themselves and very good for the people. So by saying this, the narrator concludes this essay. So in this essay, we see a lot of things. We see how Sir Roger treats his guest and how Sir Roger knows whatever his guest needs, and Sir Roger's household and the description of all the servants, and Sir Roger's good nature, and Sir Roger's dealing with this chaplain, and it ends with one observation from the narrator. So this is a beautiful essay. It is not very long, and I would recommend that you read it line by line, and my description will help you to understand this essay better and to answer all the questions. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want more videos like this, keep an eye on my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.